For years, one statistics has dominated every discussion about the Asian air power. China has more fighters, more bombers, more air bases, more aircraft. So does that automatically make the People's Liberation Army Air Force stronger than the Indian Air Force? Not necessarily. A new global air power assessment has placed the Indian Air Force at 6th position worldwide. That is ahead of China's PLAAF in overall effectiveness. The ranking has sparked a debate because on paper, China fields a much larger air arm. So what explains this difference? What does the ranking actually measure? And does it mean that the Indian Air Force has solved its long-standing challenges?
Military strength cannot be measured by numbers alone. A modern air force is judged not only by the size of its fleet, but also by the quality of its aircraft, pilot training, combat readiness, logistics, maintenance, operational flexibility, and its ability to sustain high-intensity operations. These are among the factors assessed by the World Directory of Modern Military Aircraft in its annual Global Air Power Rankings. In the latest assessment, the Indian Air Force secured the 6th position globally, while China's People's Liberation Army Air Force ranked lower despite operating a significantly larger fleet. The study evaluates air forces using what it calls a true value rating, a methodology that gives greater weight to operational capability than simple aircraft inventory. For India, the ranking reflects several long-term strengths. The Indian Air Force operates one of the world's most diverse combat fleets, including Rafale multi-role fighters, Su-30 MKI air dominance aircrafts, Mirage 2000 and upgraded MiG-29 fighters supported by airborne early warning aircrafts, aerial refueling platforms, and an increasingly integrated air defense network. The force also benefits from decades of operational experience across deserts, mountains, maritime environments, and high-altitude theaters. Unlike many air forces, the Indian Air Force trains continuously for multi-front contingencies, combining offensive and defensive operations in demanding conditions.
But the rankings tell only part of the story, because while the Indian Air Force has earned recognition for capability and professionalism, it is also confronting one of the most significant force structure challenges in its history. The question now is not whether the Indian Air Force is capable. The question is whether it can sustain that capability over the next decade.
The Indian Air Force is authorized to operate 42 fighter squadrons to effectively meet the challenge of a potential two-front conflict. Today, however, its operational strength remains considerably below the authorized level. Several legacy aircraft have already retired, while replacement programs have taken longer than originally planned. That is why the coming decade will be critical. The induction of Tejas Mk1A, the planned acquisition of new multi-role fighter aircraft, upgrades under Super Sukhoi program, additional force multipliers like the AWACS and aerial refuellers, and the development of the indigenous advanced medium combat aircraft or AMCA will determine the future balance of air power. The ranking also underlines an important lesson. Air superiority is not achieved by numbers alone. It depends on the integration of sensors, weapons, networks, logistics, maintenance, and highly trained personnel working together as a single combat system. Recent operations have demonstrated that rapid decision making, precision targeting, and effective command and control can often outweigh numerical advantage. For India, the latest ranking is an acknowledgement of professionalism, operational readiness, and combat effectiveness of the Indian Air Force. But it is also a reminder that maintaining this advantage will require sustained investment in modern aircrafts, indigenous technology, and force expansion. Because In rapidly evolving air domain, standing still is not an option.
The Indian Air Force has secured the 6th position in the latest global air power rankings, highlighting its operational capability, professional training, and ability to perform across diverse mission profiles. Equipped with advanced platforms such as Rafale and a Sukhoi 30 MKI, the Indian Air Force continues to maintain a high state of combat readiness. As Air Force expands through new inductions and capability upgrades, the Indian Air Force remains well positioned to meet the evolving challenge of modern aerial warfare.
The Indian Air Force may have earned global recognition for the quality of its combat capability. But the next chapter will be written not by rankings but by modernization. As Tejas, Super Sukhoi, new force multipliers and AMCA program gather momentum, India now has an opportunity to transform today's capable Air Force into one that is also larger, more technologically advanced and fully prepared for the challenges of tomorrow.